Those of you that don't know me, which is probably very few, might know me as Peach State Pam on the internet because I've had several very prolific years on the internet. But I was diagnosed in 1997. I had a biopsy in June of that year, and I already had cirrhosis of the liver. So I'm one of those people that, you know, I wish I'd been tested sooner and had a better chance at treatment. I tried treatment. My hemoglobin started at 7. It went down to 6 by week 17. I wound up in intensive care for a month on life support for 2 weeks. I had a recurrence of Legionnaire's disease, which is something most people don't get once, much less twice. And I'm really very grateful just to be alive. Part of the reason I think I'm still alive is because I found all you wonderful people that really got, you know, me advocating and going out and helping others. And that old adage is very true, that the more you help others, excuse me, the more you help others, the more you help yourself. But I did want to share, I started out working in hospitals 30 years ago. And I was a brainwave technician, which is an electroencephalographic technician. And I often joke that we go to school just to learn how to spell that and say it. So I realize now that in God's big plan, when the time came that I became encephalopathic, it would roll off my tongue. I've been saying it since 1967. So even when I am encephalopathic, I can still say encephalopathic. But I was thinking a little bit last night when I was thinking about the introduction. I thought about this car commercial, and I can't remember which car company it is, but a lady comes on and she says, "I'm Peggy Smith," or something like that. "Do you recognize me?" And then she says, "Well, you wouldn't because I'm not a celebrity, but I'm an owner of this vehicle and you should go buy this vehicle." And I got to thinking that, you know, we really need people like our next guest, because it just is so important to have a celebrity out there speaking for us, because she can probably reach more people in one interview than most of us could reach in our lifetimes. So I'm very grateful that she's here to also advocate for us, because God knows we need all the helpers we can get. But it's my privilege to introduce Miss Natalie Cole. She's a singer and songwriter and a performer. She's won 9 Grammy Awards. Her latest album, Still Unforgettable, was released in 2008. At that time, while recording the album, she was diagnosed with chronic hepatitis C during a routine exam. Now, she later wrote a book called Angel on My Shoulder, and all of us who know that you don't get diagnosed on a routine exam, we realize she truly had an angel on her shoulder, because usually you have to ask in order to get tested. She had the infection for 25 years in her body, and she now today is virus-free. She's decided to use her voice to spread awareness and support others in taking action against chronic hepatitis C through the Tune Into Hep C campaign. And I'm just ever so grateful that she's going to go through this journey with us, because we need all the help we can get. So it's my privilege and pleasure to introduce Miss Natalie Cole.
Thank you so very much. It's really kind of comforting being in this room with people who know about this disease. And that's probably the reason that we're all here today, is because more people need to know about this disease. You know who I am, so I don't have to go through that. I'll tell you my story. What Pam was saying, just extend it a little. I was actually, I was in the middle of recording a CD called Still Unforgettable. I also had a little hernia thing, a little hernia glitch. And for those of you who don't know, your hernia is inside of this little packet inside your tummy. And for some reason, my packet popped open and my hernia popped out. And it's like I had a little alien in my stomach. So I wanted to get the surgery to repair it. No big deal. Went to get blood work and, you know, pre-op before you go to have surgery. And that's when the doctor said, you know, I'm looking at your numbers, your blood numbers, I'm not real happy. I'm going to send you to a kidney guy, because he wasn't sure. I went to the kidney guy. He took blood work. He said, I think you have hepatitis. I'm going to send you to the liver guy. I went to the liver guy, and the liver guy said, yeah. And I said, huh? And when you've been sober for 25 years, you kind of figure, you kind of, clear. You know, what do they call you? You dodge that bullet?
That's right. That's right.
No. It was extraordinary for me to find out that this virus was still in my body after 25 years. Because I'd been sober probably about 27, 28 years when I got a diagnosis. So I was really in shock. I didn't know a lot about Hep C, but like so many of perhaps you at the beginning, before you became advocates or before you became patients, I was also under the impression that it was kind of a stigma. It was not the happiest thing to be talking about. Back in the day, Hep C was the rock and roll generation. All the rockers and all the folks in the music business pretty much. So many of them were, you know, shooting heroin and things like this. And that was the general way in which the general public thought that's how you got it. So there's this very ugly stigma about hepatitis C. Fast forward to, in the last perhaps 10 years, you would probably know better than myself, that we now find out you can get it from blood transfusions and tattoos and so many different ways, and that's pretty scary too. But the bottom line is that people are walking around with this disease inside them and they don't even know it. I had no symptoms. I was feeling pretty good. I've been a workout fiend most of my adult life. So this was a real shock. But for me, I felt that I could not do anything. And so I did start treatment. Everybody is different. My treatment was a medication that I had to inject. It was very difficult. Pam can high-five me on that, because she's been down that road as well. You can start rolling the, much of a digger, thank you. And it was very, very difficult for me for the next, I'd say, 7 months or so. But I learned a lot about this disease. And once it was done, by the grace of God, I managed to get through it. And now my liver was 80% cured in spite of, you know, the challenge of the treatment that I went through. And it was very difficult for me to get through it because I didn't know if I'd still be able to sing, if I could still work, travel. You know, there was a lot of questions. And I don't know how many of you are afflicted with that disease right now in this room, but I'm with you. I'm with you on it. You know, I remember, I've not forgotten, it's just been 2 years, what it's like. And there's now so many more options available to us, and that's why I'm here. I am affiliated with something called Tune In to Hep C campaign. There's a website called tuneintohepc.com. And, you know, some people, you can stop it, just hold it, that's important right there. Some people are very reluctant to talk about it, and this is going to help you. This website is going to really, really help you. If you are reluctant to go to a healthcare provider, go on the website. Go to tuneintohepc.com. And the truth is, it doesn't matter how you got it. That's not even important anymore. whether it's a blood transfusion, non-sterile tattoo needles, a needle stick in the hospital. But in my case, as you know, I got it from IV drug use. But the consequences are still the same. And what's important is that you do something about it. And it's not easy for someone who's got this to just, you know, run to the doctor. And because of that stigma, there's really a couple of things going on with this campaign. One is to try to erase the stigma about Hep C, try to raise the awareness of Hep C, and try to encourage people to go to their healthcare provider, to go to their doctor, to, if you have any kind of a sign of being tired, fatigued, or whatever. You know, people don't usually, as Cam said, you don't get checked for your liver. You
Right.
get, you know, they give you an echogram, cardiogram, and things like that. You know, and just recently people started saying, check me for HIV.
Right.
Why not say, check me for liver disease?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's rampant, it's out there, and because of that stigma, people weren't talking about it. And I think because of this face and the face of Greg Allman and any other celebrity who chooses to come forward at this point, which I would always would love to encourage as well, this is what's going to get it out there. We know the power of celebrity. We know the power of, you know, the Hollywood, the glam, and why not use it for something that can actually save people's lives? You know, depression was thought to be a personal failing or weakness. And what happened is that some celebrities started coming forward and saying that they were depressed, clinically depressed, and everybody went, oh! But then everybody went, wow, that they would say that they would actually admit to that.
Right.
You know, because we all want to be perceived as perfect and lovely and wonderful. So there's a lot of stuff going on inside of us, and we need to talk about it. Same thing when we heard about Matt Johnson, HIV. Again, we went, shocking. But we were so glad that there was this face that we could relate to it. How much do we love magic? And it was really great that he came forward. You know, so we want to do the same thing with Hep C. You know, to give it just the same chance that these other afflictions have had, and it's time. It's really way overdue.
It is.
So many people who know they're infected are still not coming forward, still not talking about it. Many more don't even know they have it. And again, it's really extraordinary that this disease can live inside your body. It's a silent disease. 3.2 million Americans have hepatitis C. That's kind of a lot of people. You know. But 70 to 80% of people newly infected don't even have symptoms. So there's judgment how people get it, and it contributes to the continued isolation and the despair, you know, for so many people. So, you know, somebody's got to speak up, and I know that you guys have been doing a terrific job, and if I can kind of push that little engine just a little bit more, then I think we got something going. I would love to see it become a global awareness, you know, but we have to start where we can start and take it from there. And I want to tell you what I'm doing to end the culture of blame and shame that prevents people from seeking help. And second, I want to ask for your help in changing the public perception of a disease that basically keeps people afraid and isolated from their friends and family. I'm, as you know, I'm partnered with American Liver Foundation and Merck Pharmaceutical. They did approach me, and Merck has been researching this disease for 30 years or longer, and together we're collaborating a public awareness campaign. Again, the website is tuneintohepc.com. This past July, we did a really cool concert at the Beacon Theater with the Allman Brothers. in New York. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was really, really amazing. And I think what was so cool about it was that I forgot that in that building was people with Hep C, people who were advocates of Hep C, people who had maybe just recovered from Hep C. So it was really, you know, a love fest. You know, it was really, really great. And this campaign was founded because although chronic hepatitis C care is advancing, and including recent advances in treatment, the public understanding of the disease isn't really moving at the same pace. I mean, I didn't know what the hell, you know. I mean, I'd heard about it, but again, I had that same perception. That's why we went and did this concert at the beginning. It was really, really great. And I don't know if you know that Greg Allman had a liver transplant about a little over a year ago. That's pretty awesome. And livers aren't real easy to find. So we were really grateful that he was still around. We just had the best time. And to bring people together under a common interest as we're here today. And what else can I tell you? We've done a lot of work already. There's been a great response to that concert. And by the way, there were folks like, remember the ZZ Top guys? They were there. You know, I'm a rock and roller at heart, so I was like really super, super excited. David Crosby, Graham Nash, Phil Lesh, right? You know, it was like so cool. But again, the purpose of it all was just such a beautiful cause, and I knew that I had embarked on something very, very special. So let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, we raised $250,000 that night, by the way.
Wow.
And I'm hoping that we can do this again with this, okay, let's talk about the PSA announcement, the radio announcement, and the PSA TV thing too, right? Both of them? Okay, so we have, I just finished doing a PSA announcement for radio, which should be airing over the next week or so. And then I did a PSA visual for television, which should also be coming out pretty soon. And, you know, it feels really good to be doing this, because I was always looking for my own, who knew I had to go through this to get it.
Amen.
But you know, it doesn't really mean as much until you have gone through it. And I think that's what's going to be the difference between perhaps this campaign and somebody else's campaign. And second, we're unveiling on the website of tuneintohepc.com, they're unveiling a new online interactive educational tool to help engage and support patients coping with the diagnosis of chronic Hep C, as well as those who think they might be at risk, looking for more information, which is something that I didn't have when I found out. You know, being able to go on there now, because they're finding out that patients are going to the internet for, you know, looking for answers for whatever is ailing them and for health information, and they often don't know where to go. So, and even if the information is credible, you know, there's a lot of stuff, you know, on the internet, and not everything is totally, you know, the right stuff. So what I can guarantee is this is the right stuff. And I'm really glad that they started this, because it's really important. So they've developed this link, this resource, a patient resource guide that provides patients with accurate and interactive content, shares voices and experience from patients, their caregivers, and physicians. And you know, we want to provide patients with a guide written from a perspective so they'll feel comfortable with the perspective of others who've been there. My story's on there. Greg's story is on there as well. And let's see. I think there's copies of these materials somewhere in the room or outside, and I encourage you to really check it out because this is something that hasn't been done before. This is really starting to give Hep-C a face and a platform and a reason to, you know, get out there and cheer and rah-rah and all of those things. I really believe that your attitude is everything. That was really important for me. You know, don't start with the why me. That's not the place to start. Just go, what are we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it?
Absolutely.
You know, you can also go to, I probably said this already 20 times, tune into Hep-C to learn more about that program and the efforts which began in June. That's when this whole thing started. They've updated the website with new video and photos, and this new PSA will be available also on the site in coming weeks. So, I spent a lot of time talking to you. I really thank you for having me. Again, I feel, I spoke with the National Press Club, and I can tell you that half of them had their eyes glazed over. They really have no idea what's going on with this disease, seriously. I think I shocked a lot of people, and I told them some things that maybe they didn't even really want to hear. But you know what? This isn't pretty. It's not supposed to be. And I think that between Merck and the American Liver Foundation, that, you know, they're no longer afraid. They've got people like you who are wonderful advocates to step up and step behind them as well as in front of them and start saying, you know what, we need to give this disease a face. And if I'm that face, that's okay with me. If I can leave you with one message, it's this. Will you help us? I already know you will. I know you will help us change the way this disease is perceived and help us communicate accurate information about chronic hepatitis C so people can come forward and take action and not feel ashamed and not feel afraid, and their family members can be supportive. And again, it doesn't matter how you got it. The point is, what are we going to do about it? Make sure that you talk to your doctors. For those of you who don't like to go to the doctor, get over it.
Right.
Ask him, you know, for either a screen test or, you know, just check my liver. You know, the worst thing that can happen is that he finds a little something and it's early, and who knows, you know, you may get that treatment even sooner. Everybody is different, but the bottom line is to talk to your doctor, find out your options. If you know someone who's struggling with this, you know, please talk to them. You know, this is really what loving your neighbor is all about, being that friend, you know, and it's not easy to do, but this is a room full of special people. Not everybody can do what you do. So go out there and do it. Thank you very much. Yeah, come on up.
It's called Lauren Sant. I'm the chair emeritus of the National Environmental
All right.
Thank you
Wonderful.
so very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I just wanted to give you an update on those funds from we started the Greg Allman Community Hepatitis C Fund, and we are doing community grants. We have 110 applications for those community grants. So thank you very much. You're going to help people all over this country.
We will be absolutely so pleased.
We couldn't do it without you, and that concert was amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Wonderful, and I think that we all share Ms. Cole's desire to continue pushing that train, and I know a lot of